Welcome to the Traders Help Desk online video collection. In this video, I'm going to go over a couple of things. One is the ADX versus volume. Then we're going to go over the index meter as well as the RSI on the advancing and declining issues. So on this line, you can see that I have marked the start of yesterday's session. And as you can see, when the session first started, the indices were going down according to the meter. You can see that the advancing and declining issues were plotted here. And this is the RSI value of the advancing and declining issues. You can see the blue line, which is the advancing issues, was going down, and the declining issues, which is the red line, was going upwards. Now this is the start of the market on a 720 Russell chart. So as you can see, we can see that the advancing issues start to come in here. Okay, but the declining issues, and this is a key point because this is a 1 minute chart, the declining issues are not going down yet. So we see that we have a small little uptrend here, but we knew not to take it. Now, the RSI on the 720 tick was still red. The ADX is all red. Now, you can see down here, this is our average volume indicator. And a lot of people ask why I do not use volume. And the reason is the ADX shows volume, but it shows it on a more consistent level. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the ADX, it was actually developed by Wells Wilder, and it actually is based on price alone. So when you look at price cannot go down unless sellers are in the market. That's just a natural thing. You have to have sellers in the market to make price go down. And as you can see, the ADX actually stayed red up until this point. And this is where buyers tried to come in. They were unsuccessful. And then sellers came back in, but they could not take control of the market. They could not take control of the market because, as you can see right here, the declining issues start to go down. The advancing issues start to go up. At the same time, the index meter, you can see the RSI has started to go upwards. Now, you can see on the average volume, you're going from green, which is buyers, to sellers, to white, which tells us that the volume is lower than the previous two bars. So during this entire time, you're going from white to green to red to green to white to green to red. Now there's no consistency here in the volume. Compare that to the ADX. Now remember, the ADX is measuring price alone. Okay, so the ADX knew that the sellers were actually in control the entire time. Buyers did not start to come in until this bar, and you can see that the ADX measured the buyers, whereas the volume measured sellers here. Okay, then you got sellers trying to come back into the market. They were unsuccessful at controlling the market. Buyers came back in, took control. At the same time, your declining issues are going down, the advancing issues are going up, so is your ADX. At this point, you're just looking for a low risk entry point, and it actually comes in here. And then we can put the clipper long. And there you have it. You get one clipper level. If it came back to break even, you would be out. Actually, break even plus the cost of the trade. Now, as you can see at this point, the sellers tried to come in, take control. Again, they failed. This is a good example of you're not going to take that trade yet. Okay? So at this point, look, notice that the ADX has not turned red consistently. You had one red bar, and that was to let you know that the sellers were unsuccessful at moving price down. That told me that price was not going to continue down. It's not ready yet. In fact, as normal market movement, it will come back and test this top. We know that from the ADX because we had magenta on the bars. They did go back and they did test the top here. And let me take the clipper off so we can see this. They came back, tested the top, never closed above it. So we knew that at that point the market's probably going to go down. We're still watching. Okay, you see that the advancing is declining. The declining issues is increasing. This is your switchover right here. Okay. This is where, okay, can the buyers take control? Can the sellers take control? The sellers won out. If you're looking over here at the RSI, you can see the RSI is now going down. So now we're again looking for a low risk entry point. In this one, the actual risk on that one was way too high, so we could not get into it. However, we can put on the clipper flexible. Okay, in this case, we're going to put the clipper short flex on, and let me show you how we use that. The clipper short flexible, you can either use it as our standard clipper, and we would just set that to true, or we can set it to false, which I have in this case. I've put my stop at 8 ticks. My first profit target is 16 ticks. My second profit target is 32 ticks. My third profit target is 48 ticks. We are now ready to insert that onto the chart. And as you can see, you got all three clipper levels. And again, look at the consistency in the ADX. You are not seeing a lot of change in this. You're not seeing red, white, and green. You're seeing consistently the sellers are controlling this market. So this is the reason that I use the ADX in place of the volume. It is simply a different way of measuring volume.